This brief discussion on the executive bonus and annuity strategy is for internal educational use only and only for this National Wholesaler Meeting educational breakout session. This material, though preliminarily reviewed by certain relevant stakeholders in the law department, has not been through all necessary legal, compliance, contract, etc. attorneys, officials, and relevant key individuals. It has not been through nor approved through SMRS. This brief discussion is for the limited use of communicating the basics of the strategy. However, none of it can be copied, recorded, repeated, or otherwise used or reproduced. At this point, the only authorized advanced markets associate to present and discuss it within the required parameters and limitations is Richard Starr. There will be no questions and no answers on this presentation at the session you are attending. The information contained in this document is not intended and cannot be used by anyone to avoid IRS penalties. This document supports the promotion and marketing of insurance products. You should seek advice based on the particular circumstances from an independent tax advisor. IRS Circular 230 is applicable. This is very important for all to understand. We look forward to submission to SMRS by the third week in February and approval soon thereafter. Materials developed associated with this strategy will include educational primer, producer brochure, client brochure, and a CE PowerPoint. A follow-up teleconference for educational purposes only can be held. I am Richard Starr. I appreciate this opportunity to speak before this congressional committee focused on helping fulfilling retirement needs of small business owners and their key employees, and helping small business attract and retain key workers. As you have said, small business is a driving force of our economy and must be allowed and encouraged to forge ahead towards success. As we all know, retirement fears and concerns in this environment and the future outlook of the economy have to be addressed.
Mr. Starr, yesterday we heard testimony of Miss Rebecca Stone, owner of Consultants to Charities, a small business that has expertise to help charities develop and maximize development offices, staff, procedures, and tools to enhance donations to capital and endowment funds. You should have it in front of you. Ms. Stone is a successful and small business entrepreneur. She is 53 years old, the CEO, owner, and top executive employee of Consultants to Charities, a closely held corporation. Her husband, Max, is the comptroller of the company. She has a team of 10 employees. 2 of them have been with her since the company's beginning and are essential to her business success. Ms. Stone and her key executives face an annual problem of having their 401k contributions limited as a result of IRS and ERISA top-heavy plan issues. They need additional benefits to make up for these limits.
Southbound in April at 142!
Not only that, but precipitous fall in value of the equity markets and the subsequent damage to 401k plans means something more is needed.
That's not right.
Ms. Stone fought one glass ceiling by owning and running her own company. She is irate that she has to deal with and hit against the 401k government-mandated maximum contribution and benefit limits, government-required minimum distributions, and account limitations for owner employees and key employees, and the headache of federal regulation and oversights. I find it somewhat absurd that she and her key employees have such obstacles to the basic goal of a guarantee of a predictable level of future retirement income, regardless of how the markets perform, and an opportunity to invest in the upside of the equities. She expresses what most such entrepreneurs express. They want a retirement benefit strategy that is simple, tax efficient, and selective, something that attracts and retains top key employees. Mr. Starr, according to her, your executive bonus and annuity strategy is worth thinking about to address her and her key employee retirement goals and needs. Please, educate us. Give us the highlights.
Ms. Stone gave you an idea of the basic, I'll call it the client profile truths for executive bonus and annuity. What we see is a dynamic duo for retirement planning for the owner-employee and/or key select key employees. The owner, key executive employee, wants a selective and flexible way to help meet his or her individual retirement needs and those of the select key employees, if any, as a supplement to the qualified 401k plan of the company. The reason is that qualified plans have significantly decreased in value. They are of limited use as a sole retirement bucket because of the IRS and other federal statutory restrictions, limits on contributions, for example, relative to base compensation, benefits plan and design, and also their limits and restrictions discourage and prevent selectivity of planned contributions and benefits for owner key employees and/or highly compensated key employees.
As I said, we're doing everything we can.
Other general client profile truths include the following. The owner employee and or key employees face the possibility of not having the necessary stream of income for retirement and for life. The owner employee and or key employee want a predictable, ongoing stream of income no matter what happens in the market. The owner employee and or key employee looks to participation of invested funds in any of the upswings of the market. Also, usually these people want higher levels of individual control over their individual retirement plan and fund. Very importantly, the employer and or owner key employee wants to focus on tax efficiency, simplicity, and cost effectiveness of the arrangement. And finally, rewarding retaining select key highly compensated employees who are essential to the business is very important. Let's look at how this strategy of executive bonus and annuity can potentially respond to these issues and needs and how it globally works.
Holy complications.
The executive bonus and annuity arrangement, or dynamic duo, may be considered to hit the targets of simplicity and selectivity and tax efficiency joined to help the owner executive employee and other select key employees to meet retirement needs and goals. It's all about helping the select key employee, whether it is the owner key executive and or other select key employees, to reach a secure retirement with an ongoing stream of predictable income and rewarding, retaining, and attracting key employees.
Holy Fourth Amendment.
It doesn't matter which annuity fits best into the individual's retirement income picture, his or her needs. Variable annuities with optional guaranteed income rider, living benefit, and or optional death benefit rider, or an LIG, or some combination. The strategy helps provide the funds needed for the appropriate product.
Does anyone know the typical steps for this?
I don't know.
Does anybody know?
No.
Typically, the basic steps are: the board of directors of the corporation or the employer resolves to provide a bonus to select key employees. The corporation employer bonuses money directly to the select key employee to purchase or invest in the annuity. It can be a single bonus or what's called a double bonus.
Answer. Daily double.
The double bonus generally refers to a bonus that is in an amount to pay the tax on the bonuses, and the balance after tax being the amount desired to put into the annuity. The result can be no out-of-pocket cost to the employee. Typically, this is done for the owner employee of the corporation. The bonus, if ordinary and reasonable compensation, may be deductible by the corporation employer. The bonus is taxable income to the recipient employee. 4. The bonus recipient, that select key employee, purchases, applies for, owns, and names the beneficiary of an annuity. 5. The individual select key employee has full ownership rights in the annuity. Just briefly, I will mention the income tax considerations that might be attractive to certain corporate employers.
You can have the floor.
Where the owner key executive or key executive is involved in the arrangement, or an employer not taxed as a corporation where the non-owner key executives are involved. Of course, we don't give tax advice. Remember IRS Circular 230. The bonus from the corporation to employee, assuming corporate structure if owner executive is involved and or non-owner key executive, should be deductible to the corporation employer if it is an ordinary and necessary business expense paid or incurred in the taxable year while carrying on a trade or business and is reasonable. And the corporate bonus to the employee should be taxable income in the year received under IRC Section 61, subsection A, subsection 1. As noted before, if a single bonus is used, the employee will owe tax on the bonus, which reduces the amount subsidized. If the double bonus arrangement is used, the net of taxes on the bonuses is the key figure. It should be the amount anticipated by the parties to be put into the annuity.
Come and play with us.
Mr. Starr, what about ERISA oversight? It won't be flexible and simple if it hits into the maze of ERISA regulations. What about that? And I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Again, Congressman, remember our disclaimer. We don't give tax or legal advice, and only client's counsel and tax advisor can reach a conclusion on these issues for a particular client and circumstance. The client must consult his or her own counsel and tax advisor with regard to client-specific facts and circumstances. I think if you confer with your federal ERISA authorities, you might find the following observations reasonable. A bonus is a bonus is a bonus, not a benefit plan under ERISA. So, the place you want to be is that ERISA is not applicable. Assuming a separate executive bonus arrangement for each key employee who has or will have voluntarily purchased an annuity contract, a reasonable argument is that ERISA is not applicable because it is simply an arrangement to pay the select key employee bonus compensation based on a compensation formula or some other methodology. The bonus is the employee's money. The corporation has no control over how the bonus is used, and there is no requirement that it be invested in the annuity.
Show me the money!
A bonus is a bonus is a bonus. This is not a plan, but is merely an individual bonus arrangement for certain select key employees. The place you would prefer not to be is where the arrangement is viewed as an ERISA employee pension plan. This could occur because the employer offers the arrangement to employees as an employer-sponsored retirement arrangement, and/or there is a requirement or pressure on the employee to use the bonus monies to purchase an annuity. This requires additional conversation, and we'll have it another time. Even if it is viewed as an ERISA pension plan, there are questions about whether or not any exceptions or alternatives exist under ERISA, because it is a plan for a select group of management or highly compensated. Of course, local counsel ultimately must make the determination.
I recall we say aye, and then as long as nobody says nay, the bill is passed into law.
I know somebody hits a gavel.
Wait a minute, wait, Mr. Starr. I have a problem with this. There is no control over what the employee does with the money, no requirement to buy the annuity. Or he can buy the annuity and do whatever he wants with it afterwards.
Let me address that. First, understand that typically these arrangements are made for owner key employees of the corporation, or with family key employees, or close select key executives. Planning for the secure, predictable stream of income and retirement for life is exactly what is the objective and the goal of the individual, and this is a way to help fund the desired goal.
Who does number 2 work for?
Second, there is an inherent control in that the corporation employer can just stop paying the bonus if the bonus agreement is worded properly and with enough flexibility. Third, some planners suggest that there can be an agreement between the corporation employer and employee restricting certain employee rights of ownership and tying them to certain triggers. Fourth, there is a possibility in the rare circumstance that there is such a concern, and we are looking to have law and compliance approve it, that a so-called endorsement of ownership rights be put on the annuity, and that it limits certain employee actions regarding the contract. This endorsement would be part of the annuity contract and may prevent the exercise of contract rights, but for the contract owner's right to change the beneficiary designation. The restriction of exercise would not be applicable on or after the first to occur of A, the employee's retirement from the service of the employer, or B, the bankruptcy or dissolution of the employer. Endorsement may cause arrangement to be deemed an employee benefit plan subject to ERISA rules and regulations. Employer and legal advisors must determine the result. An agreement between employer and employee limiting or restricting employee rights of ownership may cause the arrangement to be deemed an employee benefit plan subject to ERISA rules and regulations. The employer and legal advisors must determine the result. The insurer is not and cannot be a party to any agreement between employer and employee owner of the annuity contract. The typical disclaimer, IRS Circular 230, applies.
Mr. Starr, we want to thank you for your overview of the executive bonus and annuity strategy. It is certainly a consideration for business owners, themselves, and their key employees, to help supplement retirement needs and objectives. We hope it does get that consideration. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. I think, don't you have to tell me when to talk?
An executive bonus and annuity strategy may be a viable option to use corporate or business entity dollars to provide select key employees, including the owner key employee of a C corporation, if that is involved, with funds to purchase and continually contribute into an annuity to help provide effective and predictable retirement income for life. This may be an attractive fringe benefit to key employees that may help retain and reward them to the enhancement of business goals. The attractiveness of the executive bonus and annuity strategy is that the retirement power of the annuity may be harnessed without several of the downsides of qualified plans, some of which are particularly harsh on key employees and/or the owner key employee.
Holy anagrams, what's the answer?
The dynamic duo can be simple, selective, and help provide retirement protection and demonstrate tax efficiency. Thank you for your attention. We will be talking more about this strategy soon. I have to say goodbye now. I hope you have found this time useful. Excuse me, I've got to find some shelter.